That's another thing you definitely want to look out for in this upcoming match.
Yeah, honestly, team fighting is going to be so tough.
Welcome
for
to
TNC
Mobile
Pro Team here.
Legends!
They're going to be very aligned on Yawi getting some really good pickoffs, but even then, going up against the Sicilian, the Lucas, the Joy, and the Granger all together, that's so much space provided for Yue and Dominkite that Edward and Demon Kite might just be too much to handle here for TNC Pro Team once we get to the team fights.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm already starting to think of, hold on. Ooh, Sanguine Claws connecting onto 2, but yeah, going back, I'm already starting to think of like how the sequence will eventually happen in terms of the team fights, because if you do want to group up together as TNC with the firearms in your hands, then wouldn't the Lucas, wouldn't the Joy, wouldn't the Sicilian, wouldn't majority of the heroes in Aurora be really happy with that? Because they'd like to put in less effort to capture you guys.
And that's where Lord JM and Yawi will come to play. Their pickups need to be accurate, need to be precise onto Dominkite, Yue, or onto Demon Kite. So it's all gonna add up for TNC, the responsibilities that they need to go up against a lineup like Aurora.
There might also be a chance, like, if it's not going to be for a pickoff, it'll be mainly a defensive tool to use the ultimate of the Cho, because you're not paired up with a burst mage. You're paired up with a mage that can, if you kick someone back, will probably pull someone back, and then you're just going to change that crowd control interaction.
So this is probably why we also see Zaida constantly being there alongside Yawi in the early stages, because he is the main source of damage so far at this point. But even then, Aurora, they're not really showing themselves. They're just being extra careful with the patterns that they're showing us. But for now, let's see what happens in the first turtle take of the game, because who's setting it up? Is it Aurora?
Oh, looks like Lancy goes in right after 3 to zone them out, cast the ultimate already to make sure to secure the first turtle for the Phoenix Army.
Good call there by TNC Pro Team. The rotation that Yawi did to help out Lord JM so that Lord JM can get to the EXP to the turtle first.
Edward from behind with Unleash the Beast, forcing out TNC to retreat. Yawi forced to use the flicker. Renegade goes in with the flicker, gonna catch 2. Lord JM and Yawi will fall down.
Kozen's here using the Zaman Force. Lancey also goes in!
Lancey with a pull, beating him off to Kozin, and Zaida picks off the kill as Renegade also gets one more.
He's trapped!
He's trapped! Demon Kite from behind, just like yesterday. Another come from behind attack from Demon Kite. Yawi with the kick, and Zaida with the cleanup.
That was just so quick for Demon Kite. Right after getting the purple buff away from TNC, he decides to dive and get the kill onto Kozen, who we thought already had a pretty good start because he was able to join in the fights early on.
Yeah, good thing that TNC Pro Team were able to trade things out. I don't know if that was like a lapse in judgment in them, that they forgot that the Lucas can still respond to the invade that they were doing in the orange buff. They stayed there a little bit too long, and that just made enough time for Edward to join in the fight. He rushed the Dreadnought armor, so he's going to be reducing the damage output of, well, 3 heroes at the side of TNC Pro Team, the Suryo, the Cho, and the Badang as well. Yue already has 4 assists, so that's what TNC needs to check here. I know they want to be aggressive and set the tempo, yes, but always watch out for the off angles that either Demon Kite or Edward can come from for the turnaround, because that's what Aurora showed that they do so well yesterday. Demon Kite especially on Assassin jungles just knows the perfect angle for a late entry to turn team fights around.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to be a little more disciplined, especially after you know that you already had the advantage. That was a clean turtle take from TNC during the first objective, but they just seemed like they wanted to make more out of it, and it bit them in the back. So now, let's see if they will be able to regain the advantage, because clearly it did go into the side of Aurora right after that. But Demon Kite might just let go of this anyway.
They're not going to contest it anymore. Even Yawi actually connecting with the way of the dragon to make sure Renegade won't be able to cast a shortcut. But again, like what happened a while ago, Edward goes in with the Unleash the Beast, forcing out Lancy with that Nether Realm flicker incoming in from Lord JM, but doesn't connect with the combination. Now Edward's still in the middle, gonna get caught out by Zaida. Here comes the reinforcement from Aurora. focusing their eyes on Lord JM as they bring him down. The next target might be Yawi. Renegade with a conceal. Gonna go for a sandwich play. Flickers in once again. Lancey with a pull. Goes in. Might be able to bring down the Hitman. And TNC might be able to win that trade. Zida goes in with a soul sap. Oh! Demon Kite and Lancey with a final blow.
For a huge portion of that fight, Aurora decided to take TNC on without Demon Kai. I don't know if that was actually the best decision for them, or was it something that TNC was able to capitalize on?
They definitely capitalized on it. TNC Pro Team, good call there. Thought Yawi would actually get taken out first, but he was able to conserve some key abilities. Lord JM is my low-key MVP of that. When he was able to get the fist break, he didn't commit the fist crack, which meant that he still had that big tool because he knew that if he committed his ultimate there, even though he got two, no one is in the right angle to follow up. So Lord JM turned around, committed the fist crack onto, if I'm not mistaken, that was Edward, and then even saved up a fist break for the late entry of Demon Kite, which stopped the team fighting flow of Aurora just a little bit.
Those were very important decisions made by Lord JM. And speaking of Lord JM!
Oh, and this time Lord JM didn't hesitate to cash that, but here come the reinforcements from Aurora. All of a sudden, 4 members are there to avenge the death of Demon Kite. A double kill for his Kite Bro.
Oh, it seemed like the Netherrealm was a bit or a second too late.
That was a misread by Lancey. He shouldn't have committed the Netherrealm or tried to get close. He didn't have his flicker, and even if he saved one, there's so many gap closers on the side of Aurora. That was just... that was a bad call by Lancey. He should not have done that.
Yeah, and I mean, Renegade has been constantly using this flicker. What is with Renegade and flickers today? He just keeps closing in on the opponents, stuns them at the perfect timing, which allows Aurora to get to do their job much better. But wait, TNC right now, they're in control of the turtle. Let's see how Aurora plans to respond to this.
It looks like they're not going to respond anymore because Demon Kite is on the bot side, trying to work on the minions. We'll see a counter response from Aurora. Again, they have the chip. Here comes the fist break coming in from Lord JM. They're not going to commit any skills just yet, as TNC will secure the turtle.
All right, so Aurora were not able to get that turtle since they committed a pretty heavy fight to get 2 and eventually 3 up top. And since Lassie still has his passive, he could come back really quickly, and that meant TNC Pro Team could still get the turtle. So even though Aurora played that engagement and that skirmish up top really well, it looks like they actually committed too much to try and take down 3. So in the long run, it ended up being quite good for TNC Pro Team. So in terms of the gold, no massive leads at this point. Actually, Harris and the Granger together, a slight lead for Dominic, who, by the way, really needs to get checked at this point.
Yeah.
He's 3-0 and 5 and already up to a C halberd. So the next engagements might be, if they cannot get the front line of Aurora down quick enough, then Domikite and Yue will be able to turn things around.
This is going to be a problem. Renegade is never leaving Domikite's side, and he can just call in the other members of Aurora like that!
Yawi from behind, this time connecting with a way of the dragon to the proper target. Yue's going to fall down. Edward has to flicker out. Here comes another run coming in from Lancey, forcing out Aurora to walk away. Lancey still alive. No casualties for the Phoenix Army.
Yawi at the right angle and just mistimed by Aurora. They didn't expect Yawi to be coming from there, and now TNC Pro Team have the best lead that they've had so far in this game. They can take this purple buff away from Aurora and push in the bottom lane.
That was clutch.
Domin got it.
Oh, Doming denying
Lord
it.
JM!
Oh!
Lord JM with a beautiful setup onto Edward. Edward going to be able to dash out. And Yue to make sure to use that Sanguine Claws for good measure. But still, Dominic was able to get the purple buff.
Yeah, honestly, if TNC once again gets to force out the shortcuts with Aurora or from Aurora like that, and them being just prepared to regroup and fight back after they know that it was put to waste, that might happen once again. So Renegade has to be extra careful in his decisions. that didn't hit!
Then Renegade glides through the cheat couldn't do of Yawi. And it was key because, again, the Lord has pawned up for grabs for both of these teams. A while ago, TNC was giving up the neutral objectives to Aurora, and now this time TNC looking to secure another objective. Here comes the kick from Yawi from behind. Was able to cast a shortcut though, but Lancey gonna pick up a kill first. Edward, Mr. Consistent, is down aside against the Lord. Aurora crashing down in the hands of the Phoenix Army. No trade for the Northern Lights.
And that is a well-timed Netherrealm, I'd say, coming in from Lancey. Them being able to clearly out-sustain Aurora and last longer in that fight.
Even though the shortcut was dropped down, Lancy's Nether Realm came in just at the right time.
Ooh.
As Aurora now will be playing from behind. Good thing they have a great lineup for defending. And it seems like Aurora are actually comfortable with this idea. Why? They picked up two heroes that have great poke and great distance before you can actually reach them. We saw they were willing to give up major objectives and play around the shortcut turnarounds. So Aurora know that they have a lineup that are good for comebacks at this point. And it's not a crazy lead that TNC Pro Team holds. It's just around 2,000. Yue is already up to a Magic Lantern. Not that far behind in terms of gold compared to Lancy. The Granger actually leads the Harith still, who's up to the Holy Crystal, but it's already up to the Malefic Roar. 4 items locked in for the Granger. So this is still very, as they would say, comebackable for Aurora.
And not to mention, aside from that wave clear they have in their hands, Renegade can just come in with the crash courses and deny whichever engage TNC wants to go after, but they might just be playing it a little more safer for now, considering that they did indeed haven't established that much of a lead just yet up against Aurora, so they have some catching up to do. But at least for them, map control is clearly on their side right now, and Kozen is finally leading in terms of damage dealt.
That's why I like what TNC decided to go with, not forcing anything anymore. Again, even if Aurora's lineup can scale up towards the late game, if they secure another major objective like Second Lord, they can take down a lot of inhibitor turrets and render the lineup of Aurora useless.
Yeah, the discipline TNC is showing us right now was the complete opposite of what happened in the first hurdle. They wanted so much more from that, but now they clearly know that they have to take care of this advantage.
Yeah, one of the trade-offs of Aurora and their strategy in this game is that the Lucas was not able to get the condition that you want for a Lucas in terms of being able to snowball quickly in the game. Usually you want to at least get 1 or 2 of the turtles and stand toe-to-toe in terms of team fighting early on if you want to play around a quickly scaling Lucas. Since they played a little bit more defensively, this Lucas will turn into more of a utility and set option when it comes to the defenses. As TNC Pro Team, I like how they're positioning. They're slow pushing and not managing the top wave. They're focusing bodies at around the mid, looking at the minions and waves that they have. Magic Sentry spots them out, so now that means TNC will have to be careful around the upper quadrant. Yaoi gets the information, but Aurora will get the position first on this objective. They show themselves here and will push Aurora back. Renegade holding strong though.
Ultra Instincts from the Hitman. Both of them use the flicker. No engage for TNC, but also no flicker for the Hitman.
Look at these two. They just know each other so well. So it seems like TNC will be able to position themselves somehow.
Okay, both ultimates has been casted for the both roamers. Here comes Edward with Unleash the Beast. Oh, mankind! Omega kill brings down the lover boy. But look at the Lord JM with a beautiful setup. Aurora still alive. Lassie flickers in. Oh, mankind is in a trance. This man is crazy. As Aurora has 5 members left. TNC forced to back away. A conceal throw. Still alive. Lassie flickers in. Mankind is in a trance! This man is crazy! As Aurora has 5 members left! TNC forced to back away. A conceal from Renegade. I smell blood in the water in the river, but the clash will disperse.
All right. They just lost 2 members, but there's a passive for Lancy. So he will be immediately returning to the fight. And there might be a round 2 for this.
I think Edward decided to dive the back line of TNC Pro Team and locked in on Kozen, because if he didn't, Lord JM's set would have been perfect setup for Kozen to just deal the damage and burst down the members of Aurora. The good thing is that Yue and Dominic actually didn't commit their flickers in that engagement. So they still have escape tools here if TNC don't check that.
Here comes another initiation from Lord JM. Renegade, will he be able to sustain this? He's gonna get bursted down by Kozen. Lancy might be the next target with another clutch Nether Realm. Edward and Unleash the Beast will be tamed by the members of the Phoenix Army. Aurora backing off right now. Zaida with a Lord.
Yaoi blocking all these bullets from Dominkite. And TNC eventually securing the objective.
Great team fighting by TNC Pro Team and great retribution. A great take on the Lord rather by Zyda, as both junglers looks like were not able to use their retribution at that moment. Brute Force Breastplate now built up by Lord JM. There's a lot of CDR and lots of utility and damage coming out from that Badang that Aurora now need to be careful of.
Yeah, Lord JM's been doing so much in
Hell
this
yeah.
entire game. I'd say, in a way, he's slowly getting that personal MVP for me. He's been denying so much from Aurora, and earlier even setting things up. So now Aurora will have to defend this Lord for now. Let's see if they're able to deny TNC of what they want, because Renegade will be spotted, and Yaoi's looking to get a setup!
Another Yaoi of the Dragon! But Dominkite will get the counter kill. Here comes Renegade onto the back and force out TNC to walk away, but Kozin in the trance. Edward's gonna fall down once again to pull onto Demonkite. Electrifying base, he lives! Demonkite lives to fight another day. Yaoi, Edward will fall down.
And he already got pulled at that moment, but he still survived. Kozen just wasn't able to reach him anymore. But now TNC, they might just be much more confident to still pursue other objectives away from Aurora.
Just goes to show how close this game is. But one gap closer, or at least one gap builder on the side of TNC Pro Team. Make that two Divine Glaives on the Theramis and the Harith.
Ooh.
Now at that point, Aurora in those moments where it seemed like they were able to escape with just a sliver of health might not happen as much. They really need to play around and conserve their flickers. Here comes TNC with the conceal. Hey, hey, yo.
Oh.
Hey, yo.
Okay.
A much needed breather.
Yes, a must needed.
Because
And you see the amount of
it's gonna pop Yaoi's immortality surrounded by 4 godlike for Dominkite. And again, Aurora finding ways to even out the score.
That space provided for TNC, or excuse me, for Aurora. Now TNC though, I like how they didn't immediately back away. They're holding key shrubs last where Yaoi was taken down. So this allows them to still threaten key portions of the map. It's still 15 seconds before Yaoi gets back. So again, it's just a good call by TNC Pro Team that they didn't retreat. Now they're still playing around the objectives and now playing around Lord JM as the Vision Getter and the Roamer substitute for Yaoi, paired up with Lancy now.
Yep.
And I think Lord JM will not forego this positioning of getting information. I like the shrub also as well that Kozet is holding.
Yep.
But you see Demonkite and Dominkite together are clearing up the top side of Aurora's jungle.
Great call too to not force an engage right after losing a member in that very narrow area, but that's a conceal from Yaoi. He's back!
Okay. Let's see. They're gonna initiate Yaoi of the Dragon to his former teammate Renegade. His immortality will be up, but Edward goes for the backline, forcing out the Nether Realm. Here comes the counter attack. The counter punch from the Northern Lights. A double kill coming in from Dominkite. Demonkite as well picks up the Fire goes in to bring down the Hitman. The Sizen duo fighting back, but a legendary kill from Dominkite. Yue, Edward against Kozin.
Kozen has his Zaman Force. Aurora knows that they have to be careful.
Yeah, look at that aura. Kozin literally just stood there, a hand in his pocket showing, all right, what are you going to do without your jungler? I can still do this.
Oh my goodness, Kozen.
The aura. Make TikTok edits of what he's doing right now.
He's holding the area all by himself, but that's 3 full HP members of Aurora now. So he has to be a little more careful this time. Fortunately, Yaoi and Lord JM are already back though.
They're rushing it.
But they're rushing it. Yeah, they're getting the objective.
3 seconds before Demonkite goes in once again, as well as Zyda. We're gonna
Round
have
2.
another beautiful round 2 Lord Dance.
Yeah, that was a great team fight that both TNC and Aurora showed. TNC checking that they're really respecting Renegade's shortcut plays because it's what they're doing. Demonkite goes opposite map, pushes there, and then just sends Demonkite through the shortcut. But Aurora were just able to hold on long enough because Edward again, when we were talking about this utility style of Lucas, Yaoi with a kick!
Commits the kick already onto Renegade, no immortality, he might go down in the hands of Zyda. Here comes the Salmon Force coming in from Kozin, forcing Rora to retreat, and that's a dub. TKO for the Phoenix Army.
They get to take down the shortcut too, so there's no way for the other members of Aurora to just catch up in the midst of the fight. Now they're in full control of this Lord. But Aurora, they might still want to go for it. Demon Kite is in the middle lane.
They're gonna try to look for an opening. Here comes Edward zoning out the members of
Look
the
back!
Edward's gonna fall down. A clutch that from Lancy. You are a god in a
Yahweh!
Yahweh with a kick. Demon Kite. Immortality of Dominic will
Bang!
be popped and will get shut down by Zaida.
Phoenix Army soaring ever higher. And it looks like they've flown through the turbulence, as Aurora now will have to face a fierce Phoenix siege.
Three members from Aurora. Minions onto the middle lane. They do have clear wave, but the momentum, the aggression, and the adrenaline of the Phoenix Army, you can already feel it as the Lord sieging in onto the bottom lane.
Dominic Kite's down for 23 more seconds. Oh no, there's the shortcut once more.
Renegade flickers out to make sure to evade Yahweh. Here comes the kick once again. Demon Kite forced to back away.
base!
The Lord is down. The base has now been exposed and will be erased by the Phoenix Army.
They will not let this series pass without a game number 3. We've only seen the show once. They cannot let it end like this.
In the Dance of Dragons, the highlighted hero